from planet Nazitron, and a evil frog named Deceptifrog and his buddies got on a spaceship to promote their outright message. They crash-landed in our host's house and now the duo must survive their outright bull.
Hey, have you heard of the guy Richard Spencer that just got punched?
And not like this guy advocate, justify, or apologetic to violence.
Ha ha ha.
I remember when there was all the screaming about Dylann Roof. And Dylann Roof was photographing himself waving the Confederate flag, and this is proof of pure evil. I tried to point out, look, in our society, everyone tells people like Dylann Roof, young Southern boys, of all the people anywhere in the United States, only you cannot have pride. Only you are demons because of your ancestors. It's surprising to me that more young Southern men don't go berserk under that kind of tutelage.
Mr. Taylor, Roof's manifesto says that he got his inspiration from your website and links to articles about what is characterized as black crimes against white people. Roof wrote, quote, "There were pages upon pages of these brutal black on white murders. I was in disbelief. At this moment, I realized that something was very wrong." Roof's stepmother said he had been affected by internet evil. So doesn't your organization bear some responsibility for what Roof was thinking?
No, he did not get inspiration from the council's website. He got information. And the reason the information was so disturbing to him is because the facts, the reality of the overwhelmingly black on white nature of interracial crime is something that is almost never reported. It's in fact deliberately concealed.
I tell you that those ideas are hopeless. I'm sorry. But they really are. Ethno-nationalism is to say that you want it, but only if it can be achieved peacefully. It is really to say, well, you don't want ethno-nationalism because it cannot be achieved peacefully in our situation, in our circumstance.
The guy's related at the Dylann Roof shooting.
What that guy who looked like Captain Howdy from the Exorcist TV show?
That's Jared Taylor. He is from the CCC.
That totally sounds like a moderate organization.
Ugh.
I am Alabama Sam Engelhardt, also Executive Secretary of the Citizens Council of Alabama. We are dedicated to the preservation of segregation.
We will segregate the buses, and if necessary, I shall arrest every agent of the federal government who attempts to conspire to put across integration of race.
The entire Negro movement in the United States was identified with the movement for African nationalism in Africa. This is a development of extreme significance, I think, because it opens up the possibility for non-white domination of the United States.
What direction is your movement going into? What do you see in the future?
I see a political organization based on racial nationalism.
A third party?
A third party based on race.
And you would lead it?
Race.
Jared Taylor's main argument is that people of color are menace to white people.
So he done completely factual research to base his thesis on.
The book that's promoted the thesis is called The Color of Crime. Guess who researched the book?
Ian Jobling?
Ian Jobling was working with Jared Taylor 7 years of promoting white nationalism until he realized the facts did not add up. In his own words,
one of the main arguments in The Color of Crime was that Latinos have these high crime rates. That means as Latin American immigration increases, America should grow more crime-ridden. But that isn't happening. From 1990 to now, there's been a reduction in crime, simultaneous with substantial Latino immigration. And so that link isn't there. Taylor tended to downplay arguments like these that were inconsistent with his white nationalism.
I'm sure there isn't any other problems.
There were other problems with The Color of Crime. If you look at crime statistics, They'll show that blacks are 100 or 150 times more likely to commit assault against a white person than a white person is against a black person. And this is entirely true. This is what the statistics do say. And Taylor used this to try to make the argument that there's a great hostility against whites amongst blacks. But the argument is silly. If you've got a population which is 90% white and 10% black, whites are much more likely to encounter whites than blacks. And that means that any kind of crime, interracial crime, is going to be skewed by that likelihood of encounter. So what Taylor discovered that blacks are supposedly more criminal than whites didn't have the ugly meaning that he attributed to it. Once you started adjusting for blacks as a minority, you found blacks were as likely to commit crimes against whites as they were against other blacks. No white nationalist story there. The second edition of Color of Crime, which I reworked, fixed some of these problems.
Taylor, he ignored the most crime would happen between the people of the same race. Also the FBI proved this information. Remember, the best way is to deal with a Nazi is to punch them with the facts. You can do that by donating it into the
Patreon.
Down here.
He's become kind of a symbol. 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 He's become kind of a symbol.